So now we know where they're going. And this is some of the literature, and the last one is a recent article from a study in China where there was people working in a workplace where nanoparticles were swarming around, and they fell ill, all of them. This is another Dees illustration. I'll leave it for a while so everybody can wake up again. Chemtrail effects on humans. There is a worldwide scenario. It's all over the place, but it differs from place to place what exactly is going on. But we see heavy metal poisoning, sinus infections, pneumonia, immune deficiencies, cancer, effect in the mind. People report a metallic taste. Sometimes when I come home late at night and I step out of my car, I smell this smell, and it's between chemical and plain dirt, like the toilets here are smelling sort of now, because they broke down. But it's a very peculiar smell, and I recognize it anywhere. And sometimes even when I'm driving, I think, uh-oh, and then I can smell it because the air comes into my car. And yes, then we come to a very important thing, and that's Morgellons. And I'll talk more about that. Morgellons, chemtrails and Morgellons disease, are they a connection? Well, yes. Imagine having these things in your body. And these things are not of this world, in the sense that specifically that one is not a form of science that we can do. It's hundreds of years ahead of what we can do. And there is a good definition of Morgellons disease. It's a scalar, silicon-based nanomachine life forms that can change the biology of those on Earth. And this is what people found. The left one is a microscopic photo of what they found in rainwater. And the black things are part of the fiber that they found. And some fibers you can fish it out of your body. It's very painful, by the way, I understood. And this is what your foot can look like if you are infected by Morgellons disease. It's basically the next box of Pandora. Scientists, and this is an article that I just found, scientists train synthetic polymer molecules to self-assemble into long multi-compartment cylinders 1,000 times thinner than a human hair. That's what scientists are doing now in laboratories. And I leave it to your imagination. This is their picture. And this is a picture from the Morgellons fibers that have been found in people's bodies. Mark Dara research. And Dr. Hildegard Spandinger has really found that what we find as chemtrail fibers are the same as Morgellons fibers. And she has this long definition about Morgellons. It's a communicable nanotechnology invasion of human tissues in the form of self-assembling, self-replicating nanotubes, nanowires, nanoarrays with sensors and other nano configurations, some carrying genetically altered and spliced DNA and RNA. And these nanomachines thrive in extreme alkaline pH conditions and use the body's bioelectric energy and other unidentified elements for power. And what people with Morgellons disease report is that they feel as if their soul has been taken over. They feel these entities crawling under their skins, and it's very painful, and you can't do one thing about it. it seems. And the symptoms are horrible skin problems. You saw the last picture with the hand, with all these things. Fatigue, confusion, serious memory problems, joint pain, and very strange sensations, pins and needles, and fiber-like entities crawling under the skin. And Mark Dara did some very interesting research with spectrography. These are the things that he found, different elements in Morgellons specimens. And he put spectrography to that to see what the materials exactly, what are they. And he finds all sorts of strange answers. And the things that they find in Morgellons are ribbon-like filaments, rounded, smooth filaments in single strands or loosely interwoven balls, capsule-like structures, starfish-shaped particles, worm-like tubes, and black, irregular-edged flakes. Imagine having that garbage in your body. So Hildegard Steininger, she is a how you say that, a naturopathic doctor, but also a toxicologist in environmental issues. And she says these are nano-robotic assemblers. They replicate from the inside out. So from the digestive system and the renal system, they travel to the skin. And it's a composition of chemtrail fibers that matches exactly on what they find on Morgellons patients. And by this time, some 60,000 plus American families are infected. And the red areas and the orange areas are the areas where there are the most patients. But I heard already that the 60,000 is already an obsolete number. Gwen Scott is a naturopathic doctor. Heavy metals, biological pathogens, fibers, polymers, and other dangerous materials are being sprayed every day all around the planet. The materials are fine particulates and are easily breathed in. So it sounds as if there is no escape. And once in the body, and that is very important, they become systemic, meaning all through the body, in less than a minute. So then we come to animals, plants and trees. I mean, Morgellons fibers, they must be also in plants and animals, but I have no reports of that yet. Aluminum and fish. What aluminum will do to fish is that it will impair their ion regulation at the gill. So they can't breathe, they don't get oxygen. So the fish mortality goes up and the growth goes down and the reproductive potential goes down, and they have, because of the high acidity and high aluminum content of where they live, they have less food. So they're basically dying out, and that's what Dane Wigington really was saying also on the film. And then here we have frogs that are falling victim to a fungus. And it spreads like wildfire everywhere. About frogs, there is this Walt Disney film about the Princess and the Frog, I think. In America, there started a whole hype that little girls wanted to have their own little frog prince to kiss. Frogs are the best way to get infected with what's the name of it? The food poisoning, salmonella. So they're teaching little girls to kiss frogs. Great. Lovely. And this was just now in Greece, where millions of frogs left a lake and went over a highway. So they had to close the highway because these poor frogs were being run over. And the explanation that was given is that the frogs were looking for food elsewhere. I don't know whether that is true.